Calling all moms. Moms that feel like you're in a never-ending tornado of toys, schedules that are overlapping, forgotten appointments, and running to and fro all of the time. Buckle up, mamas, because today I'm going to share 10 tips with you that'll hopefully help turn your world from chaos to a little bit calmer atmospheres. Throw in your earbuds and let's get cracking. Hi, I'm Jenna Dix, and I'm always rambling. Just ask my husband. I have a great family and a pretty cool life, but I'm a recovered alcoholic. That's hard to say, but my goal is to inspire and educate to help others hopefully find life beyond an addiction. I'm all things: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Getting healthy, momming, and politics. Get offended easily? You better stop listening. There is no point in wasting that Botox by stressing yourself out listening to a podcast. Welcome to Ramblings of an Addict with Jenna Dix. Today's episode brought to you by products and services that I'm thoroughly addicted to. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed and uncertain during the home buying process? Especially in today's market. Spring and summer can be a crazy time to buy a home or sell a home, but do not let that hold you back from your dreams. Look no further. Call my hubby, Mike Dix, a realtor with Pemberton Homes. He is here to make your experience stress-free and exciting. With years of experience and a passion for helping his clients, Mike is an expert in the Minnesota and Wisconsin markets. He understands the unique needs of buying in today's market and will guide you every step of the way. Do not miss out on your dream home. Contact Mike Dix today. Check out the show notes for more information and start your home buying journey with confidence. Hello, welcome to today's podcast, my fellow ramblers. I'm so excited to have you here. I am so excited to be back in recording. I've taken a few days off. I headed out to Washington, D.C. for a few days with some fellow female politicos. Left the family back here in Minnesota for a few days. They did their family thing without mom, and they did well. I am super proud of my family. My husband was a champion. He got the older one off to her softball games, was able to wrangle in the little one. They got to swimming lessons. They did all the things. So definitely incredibly proud of my family. It was nice to get a couple days away. It definitely was far from relaxing. We were incredibly busy out there. But nonetheless, it was still nice to kind of have some time just to think on my own, process on my own, experience some things. But I had never been to DC before, and now I know I will definitely be heading out there, hopefully sooner than later, with my family as well, just because it was an incredible trip. If you have never gone, I definitely highly encourage you head out that way. So many amazing things to see, and obviously travel in itself is expensive, but it was pretty cool to see that a lot of the actual things that you go and see were either A, free, or B, relatively lower on the price of things. So I definitely encourage, if you have not headed to DC ever, head out that way, because getting to see those things in person versus just seeing pictures or seeing them in a social studies book or seeing them, online or anything like that, totally different. We got to stand up on the speaker's balcony, and got to look out over the back of the Capitol. So there's the Washington Monument, the reflecting pool, Lincoln Memorials in the backdrop of it all. It was breathtaking, total goosebumps, tears in your eyes. So amazing. I probably at some point will do a podcast just on the patriotic feel that came from that trip and how it has really inspired me in different ways right now to, different ways of taking my political focuses. But that's a different day. Today, we're going to be talking to you as moms about how you can get your life a little less chaotic. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to make promises that, everything's going to go 100% amazing. It's not. It's not at all. But I can tell you, coming from a mom that is more type A, coming from a mom that is incredibly OCD sometimes, these are the tips that have helped me. So if you feel like you are a mom that you're just drowning, like your life just feels like a sea of chaos, and you're desperately grasping at straws, trying to organize just little pieces, hopefully to bring you pockets of peace, right? Hopefully some tips today are going to be helpful. I can tell you this. If that is how you feel, like you're in that sea of chaos, oh, sister, you are far from alone. So being a health coach, working with many clients over these last 12 years or whatever it's been, I have heard this from many, many people, many females especially. So you're far from alone. A lot of people have said this exact thing. I just feel like my life is just chaotic. Everything is just swirling and I can't get things in order no matter how hard I try, right? So today, like I said, I'm going to be sharing 10 tips. And in typical Jenna fashion, they're no way, shape, or form organized. Like, this is the first and, all the way down to the best or anything of that. I just jotted all my ideas down. They came out on the paper as I was thinking. But these are the tips that have helped me over the years find some more peace, just find some more balance. So I'm not feeling like I'm constantly chasing my own tail. I can tell you though, that these are going to be some work. Some of them may even seem annoying. Like, why the hell would I do that? That just seems like a pain in the rear. Okay, yeah, maybe. But it is helpful in the end, right? So you can take them, you can leave them, you can pitch out these ideas. They can go in one ear and out the other. Or maybe you're like, holy crap, all 10 tips are amazing. Maybe just one tip is going to be helpful for you. But I can tell you, these are the tips that I personally have implemented to find more flow and balance in my life, and they have helped. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right in. So, the first one, email. Okay, I'm the type of person that I have 0 unread emails in my inbox. And I should have counted. I think I have like 9 or 10 at least emails, and they're all on my phone. Of course, I have them all open on my computer as well, but I have like 10 separate inboxes that are active. I probably have some out there that are not active anymore, but these are the ones that are straight active and I use on a pretty regular basis. Okay. I'm the type of person, if I see somebody's phone and like the little red notification thing is up on their email and they have a shit ton of unopened, like thousands, like my heart just palpitates a little bit faster. Okay. My daughter is one of them people. And I've heard it all. Like, I have specific ones that are for my junk and I just never open them, or, I've let it get out of hand and now I just don't even know what to do with this. And I've heard this from many clients. I've had some that we talked about strategies even, multiple clients. So it's not just like it's been one person. Like, email is a thing that overwhelms a lot of people. I am not one of them because I've set up systems. So I want to just talk a little bit about the systems that I've set up so that email doesn't overwhelm me, because it feels like it can be such a stupid thing. Like, why did I let this get so out of control? How do I get it in control? How do I keep it so it doesn't, pile up again? And all of a sudden I'm sitting there like, what the heck do I do with all this? Do I just delete it all? What if there's something good in there that I don't want to delete, or something I shouldn't be deleting, right? So here's, in a nutshell, Jenna's little system for you, okay? So every morning I spend roughly 10 minutes looking at my email relatively soon after I wake up, because it's all on my phone, right? It's right there. So I look at all my emails, things that I'm like, well, that's stupid, I don't need that. I delete it. I don't just look at it and leave it, I delete it. Just get rid of it. Easy peasy, right? It's gone. If it's something that I keep getting emails from that I'm like, why do I keep getting these? Or I'm never going to need emails from these people or from this account, go in and unsubscribe. It takes you 2 seconds and you will not get an email from them tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Okay? Spend, if you haven't done this in a long time, dedicate, and we have a holiday coming up. We have 4th of July. Maybe say, hey, I'm going to take 10 extra minutes on the 4th of July and go in and unsubscribe to stuff. Okay? So you're opening up all your emails, ones that you're like, I don't need that, delete it. Ones that you're like, okay, I never need anything from these people, unsubscribe before you delete it, right? If it's something you can immediately just take care of within like a half a second, do it. Or my next system piece is I have folders. I have a lot of folders, but you organize them in any which way you feel is going to work for you. So for example, some of the folders I have one that's like McKenna. I have one that's school for the girls. I have a folder that says soon. So like something that I'm going to have to take care of soon, right? I have a folder called keep. I have a folder called taxes. All these different folders where you can file things where you're going to need it for later. And each inbox has different folders. Like for example, I have a political one. I have one that's labeled, Minnesota secretary. So anything for my secretary position would go in there. I have ones that are for contracts that I work. I have a folder for podcasting. That way, everything just goes where it needs to go. It's not just hanging out in my inbox unread or dirtying up my inbox, anything of that sort. So I'm not joking. Once you get this system in play, maximum I typically spend in the morning is 10 minutes. And that's maximum. Throughout the day, if I have 5 minutes here and there, I'll just look at my email, see what I need to do, what's come in throughout the day, because as we all know, our inboxes are popping all day long. So a couple times a day, I'll spend a couple minutes here and there looking and, delete, or, put that in this folder, or, hey, I'm just going to send a quick response to this person. And then at the end of the day, again, 5 minutes. So we're talking a maximum of a half an hour a day on email. And you may think, well, that's stupid. Not really, when our lives are based off of our email 9 times out of 10, right? Our work have email. We have it for our personal lives. We have it for hobbies or volunteer things we're in. Like everything for the most part nowadays does go through email. So having it set up for success is going to help you. So stop procrastinating. Clean out your inboxes. If you have one that's like, okay, it's all junk, delete it all. Get rid of it. Like, make your life a little bit more efficient. Tip number 2, unpack immediately. So this means if you walk in the door from wherever and you have a bag of sorts, unpack it, get rid of it. Don't just sit it there and go do something, because either A, it's going to sit there forever, or B, you're going to sit and procrastinate. Oh, I don't want to have to go do that. Oh, I don't want to have to go take care of that. And this can be, your trip from your work day, or your bag from your work day. This could be, maybe you went to the beach with the kids and now you have the beach bag sitting there, or you went grocery shopping. Obviously, I've seen people, you put your cold stuff away, but I've seen people leave their groceries just sitting there for hours, the stuff that's not freezer/fridge. It's like, dude, just put it away right when you come home and it's done. Yeah, it takes 3 extra minutes, but it's done. And it doesn't feel like such a drag if you have to return back to it. I take this as far as if I travel, the first thing I do, I come home, I hug my family, and I unpack. And I did this week. Came home from DC. I had my carry-on and I had my suitcase, which I was really proud of myself. I did not use the largest luggage. Usually I always use the largest luggage. I did not. That's a win in Jenna's book. So I totally digressed there for a minute. But I had to pat myself on the back, right? We have to celebrate small wins. But anywho, so the moment I walked in, hug the family, and Mike knows, Jenna goes and unpacks. And that's exactly what I did. And he even helps a little bit as he chit chats with me, but like that way it's done. It wasn't weighing me down. I got to then, I had snack with the girls and then we went to a park. We went on a walk. Like, and it didn't have to be a burden later in my day because voila, it's done. So unpack whatever you bring in the door with you immediately. Tip number 3, set up your week with specific tasks that you do routinely on the same day. So essentially what you're doing is you're setting yourself up with systems. So think about all of the tasks that you have to do routinely. So for example, laundry, cleaning the house. I'm trying to think of other things that we have on ours, watering the plants or anything like that. Anything that you don't have to do every single day, but you have to do consistently, like once a week or twice a week. Set those things up on specific days. So it's not a question of, oh crap, when do I have to do that again? Or when am I going to squeeze that in? Like for example, our family does laundry every Monday. We do cleaning of the house, like full clean everything every single Thursday. And then we just do a quick vacuum and like wipe down the bathroom, like the counter and the toilet, because we do that every Sunday. And then, I'm just trying to think of other things. Like we grocery shop every Tuesday after swimming lessons. We set things up like that. So it's just not a question. We know when it's going to be. Everyone knows when it's going to be. So it's just taken care of. It's not up in the air. It's less stress on your shoulders of, oh shit, when am I going to get that done again? You know what day it's going to pop into the system. Can your system ebb and flow a little bit? Yeah. Like, for example, cleaning day in our house used to be Wednesday. It was Wednesday for, I don't know, probably the last 3 or 4 years. Well, Haley's ball is now on Wednesdays, and it's just too much. We cannot get it all done. And we have a babysitter on Wednesdays, so it was too chaotic. So we're like, well, let's just pivot it to Thursdays. The schedule changed a little bit, but it's now consistent again on Thursdays. Anything you can do like that, honestly, it's less thinking. It's less mental bandwidth taken to stress you out. And it may seem silly, but I swear, give it a try. In the end, it might be a little stressful in the beginning, but once it becomes a habit, you're like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday. I got to do X, Y, Z. No big deal. I know that. Okay. All right. Number 4. Declutter/purge the house regularly. So, and when I mean regularly, I'm talking, you can do it seasonally, you can do it once a year, you can do it twice a year, whatever is either A, needed for your house, and B, what is honestly realistically doable. Okay. So when I'm talking declutter/purge, in our house, what that means to us is we go through everything. Every drawer is opened. Every cupboard is opened. Everything is gone through. And we do it twice a year. We do it once, like spring cleaning time. And that's when we also like then, quote unquote, like spring clean, like wipe the windowsills, wipe the blinds, dust and vacuum behind stuff and mop behind stuff, like do it all, right? And then every December, we kind of do like a, I guess for better terms, like half-ass spring clean. So things are just kind of tidied up a little bit extra. But we really make sure when we're purging and going through drawers, going through cupboards, like we're really thinking, okay, what can I really get rid of? Because we know we're coming into the Christmas season because we do it. So like I said, once in the spring. So roughly like first week of May. And then we do it again towards the end of November because we're coming to the holiday season. And our mentality is we know we're going to get some extra stuff because not only are we coming into, Christmas, we're coming into Mike's birthday, my birthday, McKenna's birthday, mine and Mike's anniversary, Valentine's Day. Like we just get a little bit of extra crap. So, and not that it's crap, but you know what I mean. So we go through everything. And typically when we do this, we're getting rid of at least 5 garbage bags of stuff throughout the house, whether it's trash / or donation stuff. And sometimes it's more than that. I can tell you, I don't think it's ever been less than that. Usually it's at least 5 garbage bags worth of stuff that you're just like, I don't need this. Like, I keep telling myself every time I purge, like, yeah, I'll just see if I use this again. And then that next time I'm just like, okay, how many times am I going to say that? I'm just going to get rid of it. You know, that's why you have to continually go back and do it, because you're going to start to notice, last time I went through everything, I thought, oh, I'm going to keep this around. And then why? I haven't touched it since that day last time. I'm just going to get rid of it. Okay. So like I said, whatever's realistic and needed for your house. You might need a house that right now you're like, I need to purge like once a month. You might be like, realistically, we can only do it once a year. That is all bandwidth wise I can afford. Okay. I recommend doing it at least once a year, if not twice. But some people go like hog wild, seasonally or monthly. You do you. But I definitely encourage a purge on a regular basis. All right, number 5. Create a daily schedule with time blocks as often as you can. I will admit, this one I struggle with a little bit more now that our lives are not, typical 9 to 5 jobs for both Mike and myself. And now, oh my goodness, now with Haley going with homeschool / PSEO online, I can only imagine it's going to get even worse in the aspect of trying to finagle time blocks, because we don't run the typical Monday through Friday 9 to 5 type of life that most families do. If you do, your life is going to be a lot easier to time block, which awesome. Make sure you're doing that then, right? But as often as you can, create a schedule where you're time blocking things. Like, I wake up, this time here is for breakfast and getting ready or working out. Like, all those things that you have to do every day and on a regular basis, plug those into time slots so that you know the flow of your day. When I did work a 9 to 5, I had this time block figured out for my work day, and it was almost the same every day. I may have some tweaks and appointments and meetings that tweaked it, but for the most part, it was identical. Now, I'm not able to do it, for the full out week that I can just follow for the most part every day. I go in the night before and I'm like, okay, what is on my calendar tomorrow? What do I have to do? Where can I place it? So that at least when I wake up the next morning, I have an idea of, okay, this is the outline for my day. It can be so helpful to keep you on track. And plug in those extra things too, like scrolling on my phone. And that may seem stupid, but otherwise you're going to find yourself wasting time, or Netflix or, chit-chatting on a phone call. And there's moments that I still find myself, popping into those things a little too long. But for the most part, if I have things scheduled out, I can be like, oh, I got to go. I have to head to, do XYZ. I have an appointment. I have something I have to go do right now. And it's not a lie, because you're keeping yourself regimented on your schedule that's going to keep you in line for success. Okay? All right. Number 6. Use a planner or a list or a calendar. So this is kind of taking that time block thing to the next level, but using a planner or a list or a calendar, a digital form that the family has access to. So that way you're not just running on your own, like, here's my time block, here's what I'm doing, and then your spouse has no idea, your kids have no idea. If you can do it in a way that everyone has access so that you're all on the same page, it can be so incredibly helpful. Our family, we use Google Calendars. I have access, Mike has access, and Haley has access. We all can add things. Everyone has their color code, so we know, a yellow, I'm trying to make, yellow's Haley, I believe. A yellow thing, that's for Haley to go do, or, I'm salmon, so if it's a salmon thing, it's a Jenna event. Purple, McKenna has something. A gray thing is like Mike and I have something together, or red, it's family. Like, set it up so that you can all be on the same page and you're not missing things like, well, What do you mean you had XYZ planned? I didn't know that, and I have ABC planned. If you have a family planner or calendar online that you're all able to access, it truly can be a lifesaver. And it's funny because Haley was one of the biggest pushback pieces on ours. Not in the aspect that she ever said, oh, I don't like this, or it took her a while to get her on board, like remembering to add her stuff to the calendar. And that one really could throw us for a loop because, especially with her splitting houses, right? So she'd leave and then she'd come back and we'd have our plan and she'd be like, well, wait a minute, ABC. And you're like, what? How were we supposed to know about that? You weren't even here the last few days, kid. Her being on board with this calendar has been a lifesaver. And she has embraced it so much that the little nerd bomber has created her own with her friends. I should do a checkup on that. She actually was just talking about it again the other day, but I should do a checkup to see how her friends are doing with it. Because now she is completely on board with adding things to a calendar. I'd be curious to see how her girlfriends are doing with that. But anyways, okay. So tip number 7, delegate tasks. You can be supermom and do it all and stress yourself out to the max until you're like in tears and screaming at everybody. Or you can say, okay, what can I hand off to somebody else? Are they going to do it as well as you? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you have a husband that really is great at a certain thing and you're like, oh, I've just done it and he took over and he's crushing it. Awesome. Okay. But sometimes it's truthfully because, well, I don't want them to do it because they don't do it as good as me. Okay. I get that. But are there things that you can pull back a little bit and just be like, I don't care. They're going to do it well enough that I don't have to. This can mean, you're passing things off to family members. Cleaning, chores, cooking dinner, grocery shopping, running errands, dropping kids off, things like that. Or are there things that you can hire out? Maybe, bringing somebody in to clean once a week. Or maybe you hire like a nanny helper or a mom's helper to run errands for you or to drop the kids off at sports or something like that, right? Are there things you can delegate, whether it's to a family member or, a helping hired hand? This one, I can admit, at some points has been really hard for me because like cleaning, for example, I am very particular, thanks to my father. Delegating cleaning has been really hard when it has come to Haley. And it has taken some teaching. There's been moments where we're like, okay, this part of it can't slide. Like you need to learn what you need to do so that it's up to par. There's other things that I've just had to learn, like, okay, I'm just being really anal and she's still doing a pretty decent job. Just zip your lip. Okay. But delegating tasks is something you cannot skip on. You can't. And it can start at a very young age. Like, is Mac doing awesome at delegation, like taking chores and taking tasks? No, not really. And they're very age appropriate, but she's learning. So hopefully it sets us up for success in the long term. And I'm not saying I want my kids to run the house or I want my kids to be doing all the things. I'm talking, when we're talking chores, McKenna will put her laundry in the basket, or she puts the dishwasher soap in the dishwasher and helps start it. Eventually getting to a point where she'll be able to start it on her own. Haley, she'll empty the dishwasher every few days, and she's responsible for vacuuming the house once a week. So it's not like we give these girls crazy delegated task lists, but enough. Because they are a functioning member in this house and they have responsibilities just like we do. Okay, moving on to number 8. The touch it once rule. So the touch it once rule is something that I have been trying to live my life with for probably about a decade at this point. Sometimes to a fault. Sometimes I've overdone it. It's something that I've even inspired some of my clients with. I have some health coaching clients that have really taken this to heart. One so much so I'm pretty sure she put it on a plaque which is amazing. But the touch it once rule means if you have something in your hand or you're working on something, just get it done. Do what you need to do with it so you don't have to come back to it later. There's going to be moments that, yes, you need to go back to it. You need to touch it twice. Whether it's, maybe it's an email and you literally have 2 minutes right now, and this is an email that's going to take, a well-crafted response. It's going to take you about 10, 15 minutes. Fair. You're going to have to touch it twice. Pop it into your soon folder, right? Going back to tip 1. But like for my family, for example, this used to drive me bananas. Like, if you have something in your hand and you just lay it on the counter, dude, just go put it away. It would have taken you a half a second longer to go put it away versus now you're going to have to come back to it later, or B, I'm going to have to grab it and take care of it for you. Take care of it now. Touch it once. This is how you will find less clutter in your house if you really get the family going on this rule of touch it once, because it's in their hand. Just go put it away. Do not leave it on my island. Do not leave it on my counter. Do not leave it on the kitchen table. Laundry? No. If you touched it enough to, put in the washer, put it in the dryer, and then you threw it in a basket and then you left it in my laundry room, get it the hell out of here. Touch it once, right? If this family is on board with this, I am telling you, touching it once is going to add a lot less chaos to the family. Okay? And think about this in all regards, all areas of your life. I swear, touch it once is a rule that can literally be employed in any regard, and it's going to be helpful. All right. Going back, this is very much like that whole unpack it immediately type of mentality as well. So, that goes hand in hand. It's the same exact idea. I just know unpacking bags is something that we all struggle with. So I thought that deserved a little extra attention, but it goes hand in hand with touch it once. Dishes, before I move on. Dishes is another good one with touch it once. If you pick up your dirty dish, dude, just go rinse it or wash it or put it in the dishwasher or whatever the hell you need to do. Don't just go set it in the sink for somebody to have to come back and touch it again for you. Especially if you're a kid and you're just laying the dish on the counter for mama. No. You teach your child, touch it once. Okay? All right. Number 9. Meal plan / meal prep. I can tell you this is one that our family has been struggling with the last year or so. We used to be killer at this. Whew. I was so good at meal planning and meal prepping. I honestly think probably this came from my competing days, back when I would eat the same damn thing all day, every day, and I would prep it all. That's when you would catch me with a chicken breast and green beans in a Ziploc bag in my purse. Yeah, that was the whole meal prep days, right? And it carried on for a few years where Mike and I would prep all of our food for the week, and then we went to a point where it grossed him out, which it probably should have. Like the fact that I would keep a chicken breast in my purse and eat it, 4 hours later, ew, but I just was very much in a weird mindset with food. But now that we eat normal meals and I'm not competing for bikini shows anymore, he got to a point where he's like, okay, I can't do the whole prep it once a week deal. We need to at least do it 2 times a week because I get grossed out with food like that. Okay, fair. Then we moved it back to twice a week. And then it was, okay, we'll just prep on the day. And now we've gotten to a point where we're like, if we plan the meal in the morning, that's a win. So I can tell you this is one my family's struggling with, and it does bring chaos. There's more days that we look at each other at 4 o'clock and we're like, shit, what is for dinner? Nothing's out. So we're working on this one actively. But I can tell you from experience, this one is going to help you so much. So much. Whether you just plan it all out and you have your menu and you remember then to take out, we're having tacos, I'm going to grab the chicken or the ground beef out, and throw it in the sink so that it's thawed by the time I get home. Or you prep it in advance. And there's ways that you prep your protein or prep all your grains, however you want to do it. but prepping food and planning it in advance can be incredibly helpful. One thing that we are really good at with this is fruit and for the most part vegetables as well. We will, once we get them at Costco or the grocery store or wherever we go, we'll wash it up, prep it so it's just easy to grab. So number one, it's nice because Mac can then go grab fruit whenever she wants it. But two, we don't have to do it later. It's just done, all taken care of, wham, bam, awesome. So, self-admitting on that one, number 9 is one we suck at right now in our house. But we've been on the other end, and I can tell you, it is incredibly helpful. All right, my last one. So, again, like I said, none of these are in a specific order. It's just what popped into my head. But these were the top 10 tips that these have helped us. So number 10, having a centralized shopping list. Whether this means you have, an app on your phone that you all share that you're logged into that you can add things to the list, or you have a central list on like a whiteboard in the house or a list on the kitchen table, but have something so everyone can add to it. What we do here is we have Alexa, so you can add on your phone or you can just walk up to Alexa and talk. It's burned us a couple times where we have purchased things that we shouldn't have because McKenna has added them. There's been a couple times we've got some Cheetos or things of that sort, and you're like, why did you get these? Because you put them on the list. No. And you got little McKenna over there with a big smirk, But for the most part, it is a system that has helped us because otherwise we're running into, Haley, why did you not add that to the grocery list when you used the rest of it? Oh, I didn't know where the list was. Like that used to be the excuse, right? And now you just holler it to Alexa. She adds it to the list and easy peasy. Haley also knows because she does have a separate bathroom from us. So we never know when she's out of stuff. So, if she's out of something, she knows to come upstairs and add it to Alexa. And Dad, when he's at the grocery store, I will be honest, it's rarely me. I hate grocery shopping. It's usually Michael. So when he's at the grocery store and he pops it open, whatever she added is there. And we don't have to think, oh, crap, I got to text Haley and be like, do you need anything from the store? Or, even when I'm shopping on my online store that I get a lot of our natural products from, she knows to add it to that. So it's nice because we have separate lists. So Alexa has our Costco list, she has our family grocery store list, and she has our online natural store list. So she's all 3 of them. We just add it to the whatever list we need it from, and our lives are just a lot easier in that regard. A lot less forgot grocery items. All right. So there you have it, mamas. 10 items. Organizing your email, unpacking things right away, setting up specific days for specific tasks that happen routinely, decluttering regularly, creating a daily schedule with time blocks as much as you can, using a centralized calendar that everyone can add to, delegating tasks when appropriate and when possible, the touch it once rule, which is my personal golden rule, meal planning and prepping, and that final one, which was having that centralized shopping list. So, are these earth-shaking tips? No. But they do have a lot of ability to really transform your life to hopefully bring some more calm. They're not going to turn your world upside down, make them 100% better, but I can tell you these tips will help bring some peace. And again, I don't want to sugarcoat it. Some of these are definitely going to require a little bit more effort than others. Some of them are definitely have an annoying level with them that you're, again? I gotta do it again? Yeah. Because these tips, they do have the ability to help turn things around. And if you ignore things like this, that's when things just snowball. And you're like, oh my goodness, now things are so out of control, I don't even know how to get them back on track, right? So, this is the tough love side of me. When I'm talking to a client and these are the things we're implementing, this is when that tough love side comes out and it's okay, well, we talked about it. You set up the plan. You can't really complain then when you don't implement the plan or you don't implement the tip that in your heart is going to help you. So you got to sit down and have that real talk with yourself of, okay, are any of those tips that Jenna said today going to be helpful for me? Okay. What's a realistic way then of starting to add that into your life? Okay. Just a little shameless plug here. These are the types of things in my Grit and Grace Rambling Collective group that we focus on. Having that tribe of women where we're talking about all the things, momming, life, adulting, wellness, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our families, implementing strategies to do so, and then all supporting each other and pushing through. There's those moments that, that tough love coach comes out, but I'm still going to be there to support those women and help them get back on track or put those plans into play when it is a little bit more difficult. So you can always check out the Grit and Grace Rambling Collective. It's right on my website. I'll throw it into the show notes today as well. But just remember, if these are the types of tips that you're like, this is what I need, or these are the types of things that are really helpful for me, check out the Grit and Grace Collective. It's $10 a month. I spend more on my Starbucks, right? in a week, which is, that's not too bad. I'm not even embarrassed by that. Let's be real. All right. But remember, you are not alone on this journey. Whether you're in the collective or not, you are not alone on this journey. There are many of us navigating these crazy seas of motherhood. So, we can complain to each other. Let's be real. We're all going to do it at some point, right? But we also need to pull up our big girl panties and do the tasks that we got to do to keep our family and ourselves on track for success. And remember, as always, each morning, thank our good Lord for your life, for a new day, and put on your armor of God. You got this. You know that. Remember, if you need that extra support, reach out. I'm on social media. I will put those handles in the show notes as well for that real life support, tips on the daily. But also just remember, I am not in this alone. All right, I will catch you in the next ramblings. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ramblings of an Addict with Jenna Dix. Remember, if you are battling an addiction, reach out for help and support. There are many resources available to assist in your journey towards recovery. Surround yourself with a supportive community and never give up on the path towards a healthier and happier life. I appreciate you taking the time to listen and joining me on this journey. As you heard, I'm always rambling. But seriously, thank you for your support and make sure to subscribe and follow my channel. I can't wait to share more with you on the next episode. Until then, keep on rambling. If you have found this podcast helpful and want to dive deeper into personal growth and self-improvement, be sure to head over to my website, jennadix.com. You'll find a wealth of resources there. There is a little less drugs, sex, and rock and roll these days, but whether you're interested in getting healthy, information on momming or parenting, or politics, jennadix.com has something for everyone. So, what are you waiting for? Head to jennadix.com today and start your journey towards personal growth and self-awareness. See you there.